Okay, so today, Fashion Frontier Program 2025, second Grand Prix, Emily is here. I'm going to ask you the several questions and feel free to answer to my questions. I think the Fashion Frontier Program is connecting with many people from abroad, connecting with them from Austria or Europe and some Asia. So this is a very important elements to connect with people and people. So first of all, like, how did you feel to meet with the many people who has this like a similar perspective or people who knows about fashions and sustainability? But how did you feel it?
I thought I thought that was like one of the great gifts of the program was to like meet a variety of people from all around the
Mm,
world with like
yes.
different backgrounds and like their stories, and from that like what they can bring into and like put into their own work as
Mm,
well. And it was a very inspiring part of the whole program,
mm,
like hearing and
yeah.
conversating with them. It was really
Mm,
lovely.
yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. So, what is your most impressive words from the professor or judgment? Do you remember some like
Mm,
special words for you?
I think a key point that was like really refreshing to hear and that was constantly reiterated was actually from
Mm,
you was to like
mm,
really focus in on the message and like what
mm,
you want to convey, because I feel like even throughout my studies you get caught up in like all the details, and like
mm,
you kind of like lose track of like your concept and what you actually want to convey and what's important. So I
mm,
think through concept development and actual production process,
mm,
your words like backtracking back to the concept and like just emphasizing that is the most important bit, and your voice from
mm.
that as well.
Yes. Mm. Well, when I see your process from the beginning to the end, I discover so many development and
Mm,
evolutions your work. Um, so I'd like to ask you a little bit more about your concept, theme, how you discovered your inspirations, and etc. Please tell us
mm,
about this.
sure. I think my main goal with this work was to, I guess, show how clothing can transcend beyond like the traditional constraints of fashion, and how
Mm,
it can be like a carrier for memory and culture as well. And
mm,
through that, I wanted to convey like a different perspective of beauty,
mm,
and like the culture regarding beauty and like the perspective surrounding that as well. So keeping that in mind, I wanted to explore my own personal experience,
mm,
um, tied in with my grandpa and like his loss, and like going through his clothing and discovering like the significance of clothing
mm.
through his stories and like his personal life, and going through that. um I guess, yeah. that makes
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was very interested about your personal approach,
mm,
mixing with your personal relationship with your grandfathers, and it was also very touching for everybody. It's your personal story, but it also
mm,
for us, because everybody has own personal stories together with the family
mm,
or partner, friends, and then people are overlapping in the imaginations, and so that's why people are very touching from through your work. And I still remember during your presentations conversation with one of the judgment, Nanin Lenin, and
mm,
she give you the comment. She had also very personal private things happened
mm.
in that at that time, so I think in her mind, it was also overlapping her personal story. So how did you feel those reactions from judgment, or, you know, how did you feel it?
Mm. Yeah, I think that was one of my hopes with this project, was that it could like
Mm,
resonate with like a whole bunch of people and like share a universal message and like open
mm,
up dialogue and reflection for that as well. So I was equally as touched that they felt that way. as well.
Yeah. And also, Nani was asking you if it's this kind of like services, for example, upcycling the past people of the clothing and wardrobe. If this kind of like services are more popping up around the world, people might be more happy. And but do you think, are you able to imagine this kind of future? You know, this kind of your way of their upcycling things. More designers are doing acting this kind of things. Are you able to imagine this kind of future?
I think I like need to give it more thought, but I think there is a
Mm.
potential there because
Mm.
I mean everyone can relate to that and it is universal. So there's definitely
Yes. So a little bit asking you about more technique and also the materials because you had such a very interesting technique of opening and reconstructing structures of the tailoring jackets. Also, you had very interesting materials for mushroom leather. So please tell us about those kind of technique and materials.
So wait, just to clarify, do you want me to go into like the steps, the process behind making the blazer? I'll start with that. So with the blazer, I pretty much like tore apart my grandfather's clothing first and then dyed it in eucalyptus dye and then cut strips out of it as well. And then the process was long, but kind of like laying them out flat, hand stitching, hand basting, and then going over machine to create or to replicate a fabric. And then from then on, just like the regular way of making a blazer pretty much. And then from then on, a lot of hand stitching as well to create that effect.
Yes.
With the mushroom leather, I was actually inspired to use that from a lecture about like innovation and exploring like new materials and stuff and the importance regarding that. So yeah, with that, I also dyed that in eucalyptus dye as well to customize it a bit and to add a bit more of my concept. Yeah.
I see. Well, yeah, it's very interesting. You discover original materials and which is very interesting surface and color textures. It was very interesting, and it looks like a little bit leather, like a real leather, but it's actually completely different colors and textures. So,
Yeah.
are you already imagining from the beginning, or you got like by coincidence to discover those kind of colors and texture? Do you?
I think it was like a lot of trial and error. I
Mm,
did consult with the people at the company and they were like really helpful giving advice and like, you know, what not to do. But I ended up doing what they said to like what they advised against, just to like experiment in order to achieve the effect that I wanted to. I'm so sorry, what was that question?
No, it's I mean it's very interesting because I can feel your trial and error a lot, and otherwise it's really impossible to find those kind of results. So when I see first time your materials, I could see your effort. So that's why how I wanted to ask you like why how you know I wanted to know more process about how you discovered those technique. So yeah. I would like to ask you about a little bit more about styling because it was very interesting styling, and especially you focusing on the menswear and it was menswear, right?
Yeah.
Well, unisex maybe.
Yeah,
Menswear.
either or.
Mm. And also, you had a kind of masks for covering the face of the models. So, what is your visions about the styling? Please tell us about it.
With this project, I think I wanted to keep the styling kind of like minimalistic and also naturalistic with everything. With the hair in particular, I wanted to mimic the texture of the blazer and like emphasize the concept of something like being wrapped up and like disposed and like constricted, and I guess like continue that throughout the whole body as well. Yeah.
No, also it's very interesting. You use the like rest of the fabric to create some accessories.
Oh yeah.
And also you adding some pieces on top of the jackets. And I mean, the jacket is a keep glowing, keep changing the forms. This is also a very interesting process for me. So, okay. So I'm very curious about your next step.
Yeah.
Of course, this Fashion Frontier program, once you get a prize, you are able to show one more time again next year. So very curious to see what is your next project. If you have already some idea, you can a little bit share about it. And also, I'm very curious about your little bit about your career after this. So first, maybe starting with the next project.
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 I'm not gonna lie, I need to like give it more thought and like reflect on like the next, if it is a new message or if it's like a continuation of what I'm already thinking, and like kind of delve into that a bit more and explore more regarding that. But with that, I still hope to like resonate with people and open up important dialogues, and like maybe this time around directly, like I want to do more, but I just like need to think about how that's like achievable and stuff, and like directly like impact people in a positive way or something.
Yeah. Well, every time, the second time is not easy. First you did something, and the second time is a little bit difficult to find your way. But this is also very interesting process to learn how you discover next step. And so I'm very okay. So maybe different directions of the questions. Maybe what is your dream to be? Are you able? Do you I imagine to be like a typical fashion designer, or more like, for example, like artists, or for example, you are interested, actually you interested in other design, like interior architectures, or what are you imagining right now for the future?
To be honest, right now, I don't have like a solid image of myself in the distant future. I feel like right now I'm very much still on like the learning and experimenting phase. That's one of the main reasons why I want to like experience a new environment and like meet new people and just learn from it.
Yes.
Like be a sponge and absorb as much as I can from like people or environments. And then I think from then on I can gather a more solid idea of what I want to pursue.
Thank you very much for today. I think that's all. Thank you very much. It's a great conversation.
I just wanted to like, I think after the award ceremony, I had to like go straight away, so I didn't get a chance to like formally thank you.
That's
but
true.
I just wanted to really thank you and express
You're
my
welcome.
gratitude
My
for
honor.
this so much. I'm endlessly thankful.
Thank you so much. And very, very curious about your next projects for FFP.